What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Civic for another episode of After the Previews Reacts. This one's going to be kind of weird. Tonight, I am reacting to the movie Detroit. It's Kathryn Bigelow's new movie. She directed Point Break and Hurt Locker, among others. Those are my two standout movies from her, I guess. Detroit is a pretty good movie. It's very honest. It's really straight up. It's got a weird intro. It's like this, God, it looks like a third grader's art project, to be honest. And then there's just subtitles telling you about the history of Detroit and how white people left after World War I and they emptied the factories. They went to their suburbs, or it was World War I or II, I don't know. They mentioned something about 1943 earlier on. I don't know, it's weird. They got all this like art going on, so it was distracting. It made me not want to pay attention to the text that was coming up on screen. But basically, it's just the history we already know. Rich white people, they left Detroit, and black people who used to work on cotton fields, they moved up to Detroit and they filled in the factory jobs, and they had no money because all the white people took it with them. I'm not placing blame, it's history. We fucking know this. Don't get on my shit about this. Thing about this movie though, and this is where the review is gonna get a little weird, is I didn't see the ending of the movie because for whatever reason, in this not an action movie, Kathryn Bigelow decided the shaky cam is the way she wants to go with this. It's fucking every shot is like a close-up of someone. There was a shot in there that was a close-up of a drill. Why? It was a shaky cam close-up of a drill. So this shaky cam, I don't know, I might be dehydrated. I had a little bit of wine earlier, but not enough to even be buzzed. So I don't know, I got nauseous. I could not follow everything going on the screen. Watching this on a giant screen and just having the camera be that shaky, I don't know, man. It fucked me up. I literally puked and I left. I was like, all right, I'm not going back in there. I'd love to see how this movie ends because I want to know what the story was. I mean, the story's there. I mean, shitty cops doing shitty things to black people because they're being racist. And it's not an agenda thing. It's not a liberal movie saying, oh, cops are all bad. It's the fucking history of Detroit. So before any of the people over here on any of the people who are real quick to call other people snowflakes, yeah, you know who you are. You who get mad when anyone talks about anything being possibly taken as racist. Yeah, you people who get super defensive, don't get mad at this movie because this is history. It's not anyone calling you out on your whiteness. So, put it aside. But the reason I want to see the ending of this movie is because I want to know if there's some kind of moral to the story that they were telling, or if this was just Kathryn Bigelow preaching to the choir. Because to be honest, the way that this story was told, it felt like all those people that I just called out, even if they saw this movie, they're not gonna. If the whole movie goes the way that I was seeing it, where it's just, hey, black people got screwed and feel bad for them, it's a decent story, but we already know that it happened, and it's a non-fiction story. So I guess, yeah, that happened to people. Maybe all the characters in this movie. Sorry, I just dropped my phone. What an idiot. But maybe all the characters in this movie, maybe they all existed and they went through this story exactly how it happened, or maybe it's fiction. I'm not even totally sure that this is based on a true story movie. So, yeah, I'd love to see the ending of this movie. Like I said, I'd really like to know if this was just Kathryn Bigelow saying, hey, this is a thing that happened and here's a story I want to tell around that setting. Or if this is a thing like, hey, here's a thing that's happened, here's how it kind of relates to today, and maybe we should all be better. And if that's how the story ends, if that's the ending we get to at the end of this movie, then I think that this is a really good movie. Because like I said, the actors, maybe I didn't say that in this one, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But the actors in this movie, they were really good. The performances were honest. It felt like, I shouldn't say the performances were honest. The performances were real. They were realistic. I believed it all. The fear when the cops were coming in and raiding houses and just already saying that the black people were guilty. The black people in this house, they were already guilty, even though there was no proof that they were. and there was no reason to even think that they were. It was just cops being dicks, trying to get to an answer, covering for themselves, and using someone else as their scapegoat. And that's a thing that happens. It goes on. And like I said, if there's a way that that can be, you know, related to our everyday life of modern day 2017, then I think that's a really good, like, that will put this movie at a 10, because with the actors' performances, with the it's not gonna put this movie at a 10. Any movie that gets me so nauseous that I have to leave the theater is not gonna get a 10. That's gonna get maybe like an 8 at best. I mean, that's being generous. I literally puked in the trash can on my way out of this movie theater, so I can't say I want to give this movie a 10. But if I put the shaky camera aside and the fact that literally no one else in the theater got sick, then yeah, I guess it could be a 10 if the story is good enough at that end. But where I sit right now, I say definitely go watch Detroit, but sit in the back of the theater. Sit in the back. Make sure you're not, like, you don't want to be this close with your eyes just moving the whole time, because I don't know, that's what got me. If anyone else watches this movie, if anyone, like, please call me names or something, call me out on this, because like this is such a sissy thing to say, like, oh, I walked out of the theater because I got so nauseous from watching the shaky cam. Like, if anyone could sit through Taken in the movie theater, then I should be able to sit through Detroit. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm going to watch the end of this movie eventually, and I do suggest it. I recommend it to anyone who wants to see a good politically charged, maybe not politically, but sociologically deep movie, I guess. But yeah, this has been After the Previews Reacts. If you actually like this video, please like the video on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching it. If you don't like this video, comment in the comment section why you don't like it, and hit the like button just for kicks, just to, you know, make me feel better about sitting through at least half of Detroit and not getting to watch the end of it. And then yeah, share it with your friends or whatever. Comment. Let me know if you saw Detroit and you liked it. Let me know how the ending was. Don't tell me what it was, because I don't like spoilers. But, you know, yeah, that's been After the Previews Reacts. Like this video and shut off your cell phone.